Hey everyone, welcome back to Some 1000 Lies. In the last episode, we read the story about the wolf in the moon, which I actually really enjoyed, and made a deal with Lucy about the secret hideout, and then ran into Claire, and we are still at the shopping mall. So we're going to pick up right where we left off, but before we do, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell next to it so you don't miss out on future episodes of this, as well as future videos and live streams from me. And let's get right in. Look, I caught the thief. I'm sure they're going to present me with the key to the town for this. I'd like to thank everyone who helped me get this award. Saran for bringing me here, the thief for letting himself get caught, the guy manning the spotlight who came out of nowhere, and the keysmith for this key. The keysmith? The guy who makes keys. That's a locksmith. Don't be a fool, that's his nemesis. In any case, thanks to you all for coming here, and I hope to see you again during the Emmys. Thanks. Claire ends her speech by clapping and manages to infect me with some of her enthusiasm, which causes me to join in. Bravo, bravo. Do you even know what you were doing, Claire? If you end a speech on a high note and clap, people will cheer for you no matter how terrible it was. Give it a try. Good to know, but I was actually referring to the fact that your thief is just a mannequin and that the entire shopping mall is now staring at us. They were cleaning the display. There was no theft in progress. Claire looks around and realizes how confused the crowd around us is, whispering about the show she had just performed for them. Why didn't you tell me sooner? I tried at first, but after a while I wanted to see how long it'd take for you to realize it. Claire tries to hide under the brim of her hat and pushes herself to stand behind me, embarrassed. Poor girl. Meanwhile, not too far away, I can see some onlookers calling out to the stocky security guard and pointing in our direction. I know now that I have to quickly come up with an escape plan. Thanks everyone for attending the annual robbery drill at the mall. What happened here is exactly what you shouldn't try to do. Hope you enjoyed it. Let's meet next year. Round of applause. The crowd infectiously begins to clap, even though they're unconvinced. Still, it's enough for me to grab Claire and get away from the crime scene. In the end, it's true that clapping will spread from one to another if you do it correctly. We reached the last floor, and I peeked from the edge of the catwalk to confirm that no one is following us, especially that stocky guard from before. For some reason, he looked familiar. Regardless, I managed to remain calm. I'm used to pulling pranks with Aussie, although I usually let him take the spotlight instead, first and foremost. I don't like taking the lead, and from what I've seen, Claire doesn't either. These two are quite the pair. They're gone? Yes, but don't worry. I'll make sure to remind you about this incident periodically so I can shame you for it. Don't joke about that. I'm not. I laugh at Claire's expense, even though she grabs the brim of her hat with both of her hands. I can see a slight smile on her blushing face. I don't usually do these things, you know. You're a bad influence. I got carried away. I noticed the speech about the key to the town would have been better written if it wasn't the first time you gave it. Could you come up with anyone better to give thanks to? Although I'm only mocking her this time, Claire's laugh is forced. She evades my eyes and refuses to give me a clear answer. It reminds me of what she said back at the first store we went to, as I started wondering if I should be more careful when talking about friendships around her. Oh, so I think he's alluding to the fact that she doesn't have any friends. Hey, that happens to the best of us. In any case, it wouldn't be best to go somewhere else and avoid drawing any more attention to us. There may be more guards looking for us. And where can we go? I scratch my chin thoughtfully and look at my surroundings, so I notice the billboard for the movie theater. It's open for the first session of afternoon right now. That was an awkward sentence. I don't say anything, but Claire still seems to notice what I'm thinking. Do you want to go in? There's a movie playing that I want to watch, so I'm not opposed to the idea. After discussing it with her, she seems to be interested. It's been in theaters for a while. It shouldn't be long before they take it out. If we want to watch it, it's now or never, but Claire's already buying the tickets before I can finish my sentence. I didn't tell her whether or not I want to do, but she doesn't seem to care. No refunds are allowed, and I still have some time before I need to go to the library, all in all. I decide to shrug it off and go along with the new plan of action. We arrive in the movie theater, find our seats, and the movie starts. I get a feeling that I missed something pretty simple, and it takes me a while, but it's when the projector lights up the screen that I realize what it is. There's nobody else in the theater. We're completely alone in this giant dark room. Has anybody else ever been to a movie and been the only people in it? Because that seems to happen to me a lot. I don't know if it's because of the time that I go to the movies, like the time of day, but that happens to me a lot. I like it though, it's nice. She and I. Looking at her, she doesn't give off any vibes of being bothered by the situation. I, however, can't stop thinking about it. I'm alone with a girl in a theater. First, I'm not stupid. I know what it means for a boy and a girl to be alone together in this kind of situation. It may only be because of Claire's unique, carefree, and direct personality that she's like this, but the memory of her confession from that time is still vivid in my mind. She dismissed the idea afterwards, and that made me believe that she was just kidding, but it doesn't change the fact that it happened. I admit that Claire's cute in her own way, but she even said that I'm not too bad myself. Wait, no. That was after saying that I'm ugly. What's going on in this girl's head? Could I use this chance to, for example, hold hands with her? Oh! It's normal at the movies, right? Did she bring me here because of that? It's not like she looks up to the task and I don't have any reason to do it. Do it. Hey, Saran? I look up in surprise when Claire interrupts my train of thought, whispering with her lips hovering close to my ear. Now would be a good moment for you to feel me up. Oh, shit. What? I jump up from my seat, run to the next room before she finishes talking. What a dingus. I try to slow my breathing and retrieve my heart, which should be lying on the floor somewhere, before returning to Claire to demand an explanation. What are you saying? Why do we need to go so fast? I mean, I was only thinking about holding hands at most. Seriously? I was just teasing you. But I guess I could show you that now. Not everything I wear is from the kids section. Ooh. I want to die. I have my body burned such that nothing of me remains. Do you want to hold hands? Not that you suggest it. Now that you suggest it. I face Claire, her eyes showing a genuine curiosity towards my thoughts and actions. I remain silent, unable to so much as think clearly about it. It takes some time, but my hand slowly moves from my chair arm and gets closer to hers. It's only for a couple of seconds, but I'm doubtful. And when I finally get close, Claire moves her hand away. Ooh, troll. Time's up. I've already told you I won't accept any of your half-baked answers. After all, to me, the most important thing is that you're truthful. She repeats the same words that she said at the pond, and she smiles and returns her gaze to the movie screen. Truthful? What did that have to do with being truthful? I wanted to hold her hand. What's the problem with that? Is it somehow wrong? I kind of get her point there, because she's basically saying, like, if you have to think that hard about it, then you must not really want to. Not bad logic. I only wanted... Why did I want to hold her hand anyway? The movie's over sometime later and we go back to the mall. I look at the floor, then the ceiling, everywhere except her. I couldn't enjoy the movie after everything that happened. Maybe next time I should come alone. It was her who bought the tickets without asking, and I just followed along without thinking about it first. By the way, I should pay her back for the ticket. It's not okay to leave it like this, and it might break the ice. How much do I owe? When I turn around and take out my wallet, I see Claire making her way towards the hallway that leads to the washrooms. I follow her around, but I'm mistaken and realize it wasn't the washrooms that she was looking for. Instead, the entrance to the metallic stairs that leads outside the building. I don't know why I can't catch my breath. There's a sign that clearly states that only authorized personnel can go up there, but that doesn't seem to matter to her. And atop there, on the rooftop, I find her looking out at the town. Aw, that's such a cute picture. To go close to the edge by her side, questioning in a whisper why she would want to come up here. Claire, however, doesn't move. She lowers her head and holds her hat so that the wind doesn't blow it away, even though it looks like she herself could be stolen away by the wind at any moment. Saran, this question might be old by now, but tell me, have you ever wondered, after watching a movie, if everyone around you are nothing more than actors? Everything's a big lie, and you in the center is the main character? Like, what's that movie with Jim Carrey in it? The Truman Show? Like that? I remain silent. Yeah, of course I've thought about it. Everyone's wondered that at some point in their lives. I don't think I've ever wondered that. But it's the sad undertone she has that worries me. There's an odd melancholy flooding the rooftop that even out onto the beautiful view. When this subject comes to light, everyone is always horrified, scared of being manipulated or deceived. I, on the other hand, think that life would be easier if it was all a farce. I wouldn't have to worry about disappointing or hurting anyone. They'd only be paid to act that way. I wouldn't have to worry about the future. I could always have fun without worrying about the consequences. Everyone would make sure that I got home safe and sound, finishing the episode until the next time that the cameras started shooting again. Who cares if they're fake, or if they're hired to do it? Is it really any different than how I'm living now? I can't know what anyone else is thinking. I don't know who's lying or not, no matter how hard they swear upon their actions. From my point of view, isn't it a paid kindness, the same as the unknown kindness that I receive now? The difference is that no matter what I do, I wouldn't feel bad for bothering anyone. On the contrary, only by leaving this world can I be sure no one's suffering at my expense. She's getting real deep all of a sudden. Claire plays with her skirt as it floats in irregular intervals in the wind. Nervously, she brushes the rooftop with one tip of her shoe. I guess that depends on the person, doesn't it? She looks at me and stops curling her skirt around her fingers as I give the reply. It depends, because you could also make someone unhappy by not being close to them. Wouldn't it be a pity to distance yourself from someone thinking you're hurting them when it's actually the opposite? Claire answers with a bashful smile, looking back towards the town. And if no one can be happy with you? I lower my shoulders as I sigh before speaking. In that case, there's nothing you can do, but you should verify if it's true first, and along the way you may even find someone who truly loves you for who you are. It's something that you can't really be sure of no matter what, because there's always the possibility that it's real. That it really is all just a movie, like you said. We can't change how others feel about us, but we can change how we ourselves feel. If we know something deep down, then does it actually matter whether or not it's an act? Claire's smile grows, eventually to the point that it evolves into laughter. She tries to cover her mouth with palms of both of her hands. Her small body shrinks a little as she laughs, her clothes blowing in the wind on the rooftop from where I can see the entire world, making her seem more charming than ever before. Meanwhile, I must sound completely ridiculous after giving such a corny speech. What do you think? Is that enough of an answer for you? I doubt Claire's question. Answer? What's she talking about? They answered all of his problems. It's true, Claire told me before we came here that she had the answer to my problems. I was wondering who sent those emails, their meaning hidden behind them, but that's something I'll never know, because ultimately the motive is irrelevant. What really matters is what I've learned from all of this. It may have started with those emails, but all the decisions from then on were my own. It doesn't matter if it was due to anyone else that I went to one place or another. I could have always ignored them and gone home. Isn't it more important to be truthful to my decisions and own them with pride? I understand now that this is what Claire wanted to say, but instead she decided to show me firsthand. Of course it is, Claire. Thank you for everything. She rests her arms atop the border fence on the rooftop, shaking her head at me. No, thank you. I'm especially grateful for this moment, for this day. To tell you the truth, this is my first date and forever. I hope that you don't mind me bringing you here like this, even without asking. I close my eyes and smirk. She's able to say the most daring things with all the spontaneity in the world. It was fun. Don't worry about it. Although I try to please her with my words, she doesn't seem convinced. What can I do to thank you? What is this girl missing that only I can give her? Hey Claire, you said before that you want to study at the other side, right? I mean, Anate? No idea. She nods. They forced me to join the committee to organize the grad event, and well, you don't have to accept it if you don't want to, but would you like to join? The more people there are, the easier it'll be. I get the feeling that you'd like to meet people, and they aren't bad people. Except Ziva. She's a witch. Poor Ziva. Claire's eyes open wide. I can join? You don't think I'll get in the way? I confidently place my hand on her shoulders. Aussie is already on the team, so you probably can't do worse than him. Also, it's not that serious. You can come just to talk. I can introduce you to the others and we can hang out afterward, whatever you want. Claire takes a few steps back, moving away from me. With one hand, she prevents her hat from flying away, and the other, she nervously plays with her skirt. Alright, I'll go. Don't regret it later. You know how much I despise half-baked answers. Regret it? I don't think so. What could go wrong? After the mistakes I've made over those emails, I don't think there are many things that could get worse. And like you told me from before, you shouldn't worry so much. She crosses her arms and raises an eyebrow. Did I say that? I don't understand why she's asking me that. Well, that's what you implied before, right? You know the answer to my problems that you knew before we came here. How the important thing is how I feel. Claire bows her head doubtfully. Oh, not like that. I told you not to worry about the email because it was from her. Oh, what's this creepy face right there? Oh, I gotta stop doing that. What is with this creepy face? No. A strong wind blows against us, causing Claire's hat to fly away, and I instinctively follow it with my eyes. It falls little by little, swaying like a piece of paper toward the streets below. When I turn my gaze back toward Claire, the girl whom I've been talking to this entire time, she's gone. What? She just freaking disappeared? I didn't expect that. I mean, I expected the emails to be from her because they were worded in the same way that she talks, especially when she said, I haven't been on a date in forever. It was worded the same way as the email, but how does she just disappear? Anyway, let's get back to it. I already told you, it's purposeful. Seriously? All those changes between right, left, white, black, tall, and short? I don't think you're just trying to look intelligent without a real clue as to what you're doing. It had to be contrasting. What do you care about what I do or don't write? It's already been a while since our first meeting in the library began, and there's no one surprised. The last thing we're doing is getting work done. It's more like we're having an argument that'll never end. And by argument, I mean that Lucy is on the offensive with the toughness and strictness of a court-martial. It's not like this kind of treatment matters to me anyway, and considering that my mind is distracted by other thoughts right now, you could say that I'm taking it in stride. It only manages to upset Lucy, who continues sarcastically questioning me about everything that comes to her mind. She, of course, doesn't know anything about the emails, the sender, which somehow helps me forget the outside world, as if this library is a bubble that impervious to everything outside of it. And why is the wolf the main character? It's normal to have animals in fairy tales, but a wolf? Because I like wolves. Do you have an issue with that? Not to mention that wolves have always been closely associated with the sun, moon, and all the things, so it's relevant. Yes, but you know, wolves are usually the villains. They eat the sheep and make life impossible for shepherds and pigs. From the sheep's point of view, the shepherd's the only wolf in sheep's clothing, don't you think? Actually, I think having what would be the stereotypical bad guy as the main character be a good thing. Confirmed. You're just a pretentious hipster. Go grab your MacBook, go to Starbucks already, and don't come back. I like all of those things too. Is it you who insisted that on us working together? What do you plan to do after this? Illustrate my fairy tales, make a graphic novel out of it? I don't know, we can figure that out later. For now, just having some references is okay. All I want is motivation. You aren't taking this very seriously. Or maybe you're already doing it. It seems like you're more interested in making the critics happy than the readers. I only write for myself. I'm not interested in competition. It's not like I write to win a game. That's how losers talk. Alrighty then. Stop joking. I've told you that writing is like a necessity to me. Everything else is secondary. Trying to sound interesting again? Why would writing be a necessity at all? The heck are you talking about? Are you going to force me to tell you with one of those requirements of yours? Or maybe you should... Or maybe with some of your twisted rhetoric. Lucy, who up until now never took her eyes off me, leans back against her seat, puffs her cheeks out, and smirks. No, not this time. I think it'll be more fun if I try to figure it out on my own. Her attitude makes me suspicious of the real meaning behind her words. However, I choose to forget about it for now. Do what you want. It's not like I'll tell you even if you're right. Oh, yes, you will. What makes you think that? Because you're fair, and that's the attitude that justice demands. I sneak a peek, genuinely perplexed, as this is the first time I've ever been praised by her. Don't delude yourself. Over time I've learned that being fair is more of a flaw than a virtue. I can tell you firsthand. Somehow she manages to transform flattery into insult, but looking at her, it's difficult to tell if that was intentional or not. I keep staring at her while she tries to draw something, not really thinking about anything, as if I'm trying to scrutinize her different expressions. focus on the sheet of paper, she tries to ignore me. Little by little, she grows nervous to the point of her pencil snapping. Are you gonna stare at me all day? I'm not really inspired, to tell you the truth. You haven't even tried to open your notebook yet. How can you know if you don't try? One can sense these things. Also, I'm running out of pages and I don't want to waste them. I've already told myself that I'm more into letting my story write itself. Alright, we're done here. Let's go somewhere else to take a break. We haven't even started. Break, period. We both need some fresh air. Do you have any other plans? I don't share Lucy's enthusiasm as she gets up as noisily as possible in the process. When confronted by that question from her, I can't help but remember them all and everything that happened before I got here. She seems to notice that I'm thinking and interrogates me about it to the point that I'm forced to talk about the movie I saw in such a way that distracts her from pressing me about my plans before the library. Did you watch the movie or not? Well, I can't really say watched in theory, yes, but I can't honestly say it. Then let's go. I haven't watched it either. So we're going on a second date in one day. Nice. Huh? Come on, let's go. We leave before I can even blink, and before I realize that we're watching the movie, but this time the theater isn't empty. But when it comes to understanding what's going on the screen, I can't really understand anything at all because Lucy's sitting next to me. I'm nervous, not for the reason one would expect, but because of Lucy's unceasing and penetrating laughter. It's almost like she's having a seizure while laughing, causing her to drop her popcorn and spill her drink on me as collateral damage. The worst part is that this is supposed to be a horror movie. Oh, Lord. This poor guy. So the girl he likes turned out to be creepy, and the other girl that maybe had potential is annoying. Are you listening? You didn't receive any messages, so I don't know if anyone else is coming or not. Do you mind waiting while Aussie and I could take a look? I wonder if Claire's gonna show up. Earth, Sandian. Why is such an interest in the committee, Ziva, and why did you want Aussie and me to join it with you? You're annoying. I've told you a million times already. Yes, it's true that I may have lied a little about convincing the teachers to help you, but there's no hidden motive. It's too much work for me alone to do, and you guys are fun to be around. You shouldn't complain after how much I've helped you with Lucy. I dedicate a sharp look to the imperturbable Ziva. Finally, I give up, scratch the back of my neck, and walk into the classroom situated behind me. Don't take too long. I bet she shows up while they're out looking for people. Our group is once again visiting the Institute in order to establish the damned committee once and for all. I take a seat in a familiar spot, resting my back against the chair and forcing it to stand on two legs, with my own legs now on top of the desk. I lose track of time as I look at the ceiling and acrobatically twirl a pen between my fingers. Eventually, the door to the classroom finally opens. Huh? You're already back? I stretch my neck and try to peer at the doorway only to find someone totally unexpected, so much so in the fact that it causes me to drop the chair to its original position. I figured. I finally found you. Claire excitedly walked over to me. You told me to join the committee, but I didn't know where or when it was. Luckily, I heard that you guys would be meeting today, so I've been looking everywhere for it. I didn't miss anything, right? Her little hands hold mine, shaking them to greet me. I can't find the words to speak with her after what happened in our last encounter. Yeah, how do you just lead in with, like, oh, hi, how are you? What's that face for? Is it that time of the month? What are you even saying? I angrily break free from her hold. I'm joking. I know that guys don't have those. Why do you look so concerned? Don't tell me that I've hid a nerve. Have you held deep within you all this time the hidden desire to become a woman? What do you want from me, Claire? Why didn't you tell me sooner? Why did you have to hide the fact that those emails were sent by you? So that's the issue. Don't be silly. Silly? Silly? A stranger that somehow knew my email address started sending me threatening messages. Then I start having coincidental encounters with you, and now you're playing dumb as if nothing ever happened, even though you admitted to doing it. How is that even silly? A stranger? So that's what it's come to. Claire takes a deep breath and places her hands on her waist. I've never hidden anything from you, nor lied to you. As soon as the topic came up, I told you, and I don't regret any of it, not even a little bit. It was you, after all, who made me take the first step. I did what? Wait, all that stuff you were saying the first time we met at the pond about your resolution is referring to me? Exactly. Although I sent the first email, I didn't really feel truly prepared, but once it all started, I couldn't just leave it half-baked. You always ended up wondering if what you did was the right call, but no matter how hard the decision may be, you have to accept it no matter the consequences. And what are you trying to get? What do you want from me? What did I do to you to cause all this sudden interest? Maybe magic? That's what I'd like to believe. I want you to know. Know who you are and stay by your side. Don't you think that under any motivation I would have had 1,000 other better ways to go about everything? I want the truth. A truth that I still can't define. After all, to me, the most important thing is that you're truthful. Truthful? What does that have to do with being truthful? How do I know that you aren't lying? You can't know. Nobody can. However, you can choose what to believe. And I still believe that those prideful words with which you told me that you wouldn't regret inviting me here. Tell me, Claire. No tricks or messing around. I want the truth. All of this is because you're in love with me? ... I don't know, but I'd like to believe that it was love at first sight. Wouldn't it become a perfect story that way? The world suddenly seemed to begin spinning at double its normal. The world suddenly seems to begin spinning at double its normal pace. I have many questions with blurred answers of no value or resolution. Flee. Get away from here. Forget her. Make her disappear. Both of those are logical ideas that come to mind. But then there's Claire, slightly embarrassed and hiding under the brim of her hat, with a charming giggle, easing all of my doubts. I have an answer prepared on my lips, but I'm interrupted by the always ready to pester me entourage. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and end this episode here. So this was definitely an interesting one. We might be a little further along than halfway, like I thought. But let me know what you guys are thinking so far. Did you expect it to be Claire or not? I did. I totally did. I expected it to be her. That was the only logical person that I could think of that it would be. But anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe before you leave, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye, guys!